Welcome back to Titans. This is Season 3, Episode 6, Lady Vic. On my last video, mentioned that this character would show up. I don't recognize the name, but apparently they're part of the Fearsome Five, which is a good sign. It's very Titans wheelhouse there. Based on the thumbnails and promotional stuff, I do know that Blackfire's back in this episode. We're dealing with that plot thread a little bit again. So again, I'm very curious to see how that all wraps up. Hoping it kind of intertwines with the other storyline, the main storyline right now with Scarecrow and Red Hood and Gotham and everything. But we'll see. I'm not sure if this is going to be a one-off, if it's going to be setting up the Fearsome Five as an actual villain threat, maybe in Season 4. You know, again, just how they all interplay, because right now that's my big thing, and I'm very curious to see how non-comics fans feel about this show, because if like any average person who doesn't have an attachment to Titans of some form, either the Teen Titans show, the animated series, any of the Teen Titans movies, anime movies, the comics, any sort of variation of the actual Titans besides this one, I'm curious to see how they feel about this, because I think a lot of people flavor, or they sort of have this idea of what the Titans, of what this show should be because of the animated show in particular. I think a lot of people compare it to that. I try not to, because I know it does draw some inspiration from there, but I know even that one was very much its own thing, and it kind of, as much as the new Teen Titans back in the 80s revitalized this group, that the animated show sort of revitalized that group as well, made a new sort of standard for what people think it should be. So yeah, it's such a complicated thing, but I'm talking in circles, so I'm just interested to see if anyone out there has a fresh take on this, because even I sort of color this show with my own perceptions based on the comics runs, and the animated show as well. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to see it as its own thing, but at the same time, I can't help but compare. Titans is supposed to be one thing. This is definitely a show about Gotham and Dick Grayson, and it's just an unfortunate naming thing. Anyways, let's get into this episode so I can have something else to talk about. No,
We're gonna make it there one day.
She gonna kill them. Not her going on a killing spree. Oh my god, I'm just waiting for it. You know that's what they're setting up right now.
Phil!
Oh,
Drop your knife.
ma'am.
Drop your knife.
Now what the hell is your damage? Bam, bam. No? Where's the intro music?
Don't worry.
What a look,
I
girl.
would never burn down your home. Prepared a welcome gift.
Ooh.
Have him washed immediately and return to my chamber.
Yeah, what?
But is the green one not yours?
Ooh. Is it?
I'll need someone to draw me a bat. Where would that be?
No one's gonna draw you a bat.
There it is. Bam, bam, bam. Ooh. Why has he got a sword? Why has he got a sword now? They're gonna make him Damien? We can't afford to have him be other than a tiger, so Ryan Potter's Damian Wayne now. You're just gonna watch?
You're not running?
Maybe I want to get caught.
Oh,
Marpa?
what the fuck?
Here to here's a joke.
Absinthe, man.
Stronger than it looks. The test scores.
I want to be a rebel child.
I might even. Batman, Robin, and.
Robin Girl.
Not Robin Girl, please. I'm trying not to think of how we're doing stuff to these characters. This is the past, character growth. I just said. I didn't just say. A couple episodes I was saying I don't really care for Dick Babs.
What did I do?
Now where the hell was everyone else? Dealing with Blackfire, I guess. Okay, yeah, everyone else in the house. That's everyone else in the house. It's just them. Meanwhile, Dick is bleeding out.
Dark, this family is dying and you go out alone
Ooh.
and get yourself shot?
Ever heard of the Scarecrow?
No.
Then I'll hear about it later.
No. Put your foot down, Corey. Come on. You're tearing this family apart. Oh my god, ma'am.
Can you hand me a knife?
Theory.
Nice throw.
What the fuck? Who is? What is happening?
Blackfire. Pleasure's yours.
You're...
Yeah. It's a long story.
I understand now. The tiny green one isn't your manservant. Clearly, he satisfies your urges.
Gar texted the name of the machine.
She's the best. Like, for all my complaints about everyone else in the show, keep Anna D up.
You think they're above the law? Kidnapping prisoners? Using them as bait?
Okay, fair enough.
We,
How can I help?
man,
You really want to help?
what happened between 6 years ago and now, where you were like, I'm a rebel child,
Go home.
and then now you're like, the law, it's the truth.
Just because I didn't let you die doesn't mean you're a part of the team.
Then what are you even doing with me?
I have no fucking idea, Blackfire. I can't leave you alone at Wayne Manor. I can't send you back to Tamarin. You blew up my spaceship. And I can't kill you. So that leaves us here.
I don't know. Can we radio Tamaran and be like, hey, come pick this girl up? Starfire's right. You can't do any of that shit. But it's not gonna go away by ignoring it.
Same bomb used on Hank.
Oh my god. Are we for Bruh, you don't got time! You... No! We gotta risk it. We gotta risk it.
Done.
Oh my god. Already?
Oh, the SPM, yeah.
Oh, he left
Can you
Blackfire.
elaborate?
Forgot. Shit.
Batman went off on his own and killed the Joker. You went off on your own and...
Gotham got to...
The only two valid people.
No, I don't want to have to kill Jason.
Garfield Logan. Coriander.
What if this is not his fault?
What if it is? I'll be where it all started. Come quickly.
No! It's a trap!
I'm Barbara. Don't tell Dick.
It's a fucking trap, Barbara. You better don't. It's cool, but it doesn't make sense why Garfield would be the one.
Now pivot and E-spin slice. Go.
They're just like, Ryan Potter has martial arts experience. Let's let him use a knife. Bitch! It's so dumb! Don't tell me this woman's the one who fucking chopped her leg off or something.
I'll be taking that.
Ma'am! Where the... Who the hell are you people? What the fuck is happening? We were gonna give married. We were also trying to steal the diamond at the same time as they were stealing the diamond.
Go.
This is so dumb. Oh, yes. Okay. Let's go, Barbara. I love this. I love this so much. Shoot her! Shoot.
Well, you're mad I came back.
I swear to God, if these two get back together. Move on. Move on. Move on. Move on with your life.
Well, no, see you tomorrow.
Move on with your life.
Fuck you, Crow.
Jason, you look so rough, dude.
shift started an hour ago. Where the hell are you?
Oh, is this Tim? I know you didn't just kill Tim. Oh, you didn't kill his parents, bruh. He looks so fucking rough, dude. What I want to talk about right at this second is Tim. Okay, so with Tim, he's supposed to be the well-adjusted Robin. He's like in a good headspace. He has a family. I think his mom's gone, but I think in the comics, this is comics speaking, okay? In the comics, I'm pretty sure Tim is supposed to be the one who's like just a kid who like wants to do good. He's not like a tragic backstory. He's not, you know, a misguided youth. He's just like, I'm smart. my dad's okay. So there's that going for this show where, again, taking a left turn with the source material, doing their own thing, a bold choice. I'm not sure how to feel about it right now. I'll have to simmer on that one for a minute. The second part is it's the fact that Jason's involvement leads to his parents' death. That's kind of fucked. And that really, I just spoke last week about how we could have a redemption arc for Jason. Kind of hard to redeem him when he not inadvertently, well, kind of inadvertently, he was involved in the death of the next Robin's parents. Kind of hard to redeem that quality. So just, yeah, Jason looks like a crack addict right now. He looks so fucking like drained of life in his eyes. So the makeup team really did a good job with that. These last couple scenes where we see him, he just looks like he looks like he's aged like 10 years. Like, that's, you can just tell the drugs are affecting him a lot. This episode has another problem. It's weird. It did better at interweaving the storylines. It still felt very, here's one story, here's another, but technically they are combined. It's just, at this point, I can't tell if it's my own history with the show and how much I'm getting hurt by it that I just can't see the positives when they are positive, or if, again, I just don't know if it's actually written well enough to be passable. It feels like we have these two disparate storylines. We have Blackfire and then we have Red Hood. This episode in particular, it was like the Corey, Blackfire, and Connor storyline, which was related. It was a spin-off of Dick's mission right now, but then we have his story. This episode was about him, Barbara, and Lady Vic. Now, like I said, they all kind of intermingle. They're like kind of barely touching. You know, the stories are trying to go towards the same direction. The flashbacks between Dick and Barbara were related to Lady Vic, who is working for Crane, and, you know, the B Squad, Connor, and the Fires were looking into investigating for who Lady Vic was and how Crane is involved in all that stuff. So they were technically together. It just doesn't feel... something's missing. It just feels weird. I don't know. Maybe it's because Blackfire is a villain and I just can't, you know... I liked her better this episode than the other one. I did some research. I guess she's the actress is actually... I don't want to say first and foremost a model, but, you know, she's labeled as a model. And I think that's where she became prominent, and then she also does acting on the side, and I can see that she's a very, very beautiful woman, and I especially liked her outfits in this episode. She really pulled off the looks. The acting, it's passable. I'm not sold on it, but, you know, she's playing the part that she's supposed to. I'm just not sure if she's selling it perfectly, but anyways, so that explains that part. But no, Blackfire brought up a good point in that last scene between her and Starfire. It's like, you want me to be the bad guy so you can be the good guy. And that's kind of speaking to me as an audience member too. I want her to be the bad guy. So I like that it's complicated. You know, I'm expecting her to be the bad guy, so I'm expecting her to do evil shit. And right now, you know, it's different reasons. Corey's trying to see the faults in her. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with her in the story, because it's been brought up by Corey too. Like, I can't kill you, I can't send you back to Tamaran, I can't keep you locked up in prison, so you're here. It's like, we got to rehabilitate her somehow, or call Tamaran. I don't know. Somebody's got to do something about it though. Yeah, I'm just very interested to see what they're doing with Blackfire this season, because right now she's like in this nebulous anti-hero zone, tenuous prisoner kind of thing. Obviously, by the end of the episode, she's like, "I'm still here. I'm still being a good person." So I'm very interested to see how long that lasts, because again, I'm so used to her being a villain. I can see her as an anti-hero. If you haven't read it, it's a really, I love the run. It was a couple years ago now. Justice League Odyssey. It's, without going too much into it, it stars Starfire, Azrael, Cyborg, and Jessica Cruz, the Green Lantern, and they go into deep space to deal with an anomaly there. It has some really cool cameos by other characters, and pretty puts a spotlight on some characters you wouldn't expect. And again, without going too much into it, Starfire is one of the leads. So it's I can see Blackfire as an anti-hero, and I think she can play pretty well as this sort of nebulous. Well, she's not like doing evil shit right now, but we can't, there's certain limits as a hero. We can't do things with her. So if this show can play that up really well, I'd be all for it. Again, my problem with her was that last season they really set up, hey, she's the fucking villain. She's the fucking villain. And then we're in Gotham, Scarecrow's the villain. It just feels kind of racist. You can't have the fucking villain that you set up last season be the one for the season. At the same time, I'm interested to see where she goes, and if she can be played off as sort of this will she, won't she character in the show. That'll be cool. I liked Connor this episode. Again, every time they play up his, I think they're doing a little bit too much now. I feel like, sorry, let me finish the thought. I like when they play up his Lex Luthor-ness, his other half, but they do it kind of a lot in this show. Whereas if they want to show he's half Superman, they're just like, he's invincible, he's got superpowers, he's Superman. And then if they want to show he's also half human, they're like, he's smart, like Lex, and he's evil. It's like I don't know. I think they could do more to show that he's half Superman by showing his goodness and his desire to help. Yes, he's pure and he's like very naive and kind of that optimistic nature, but I don't know. I just feel like whenever they try and show he's half Superman, it's like he's half Kryptonian, which is true also. Again, maybe it's just me nitpicking things, but I like this episode with him. Corey is a queen. Just love her. I read a review sort of going over this season so far, and they're talking about the good and the bad points, and they also mention fucking Anna Diop as Starfire is a highlight. She's just, ever since season 1, she's always been my favorite. Like, literally, I can't even compare. It's Starfire is all the way up here. Beast Boy is maybe a couple inches, maybe right here. Ryan Potter as Beast Boy. Ryan Potter, I should say. Not as Beast Boy, but Ryan Potter. He's a fun, charismatic actor. And then we have, Dick Grayson's down here. And then we go down. Oh, God. Okay, we'll talk about him now. Beast Boy. God. I like Ryan Potter, like I just said. I think he's very charismatic. He's a good actor. I think the problem is they don't want to use Beast Boy for his powers. And that's been a problem since day one. They've made it clear since season 1 that they don't have the budget for more than the tiger. Their solution was, let's use his martial arts skills, which I can see why Ryan Potter is a martial artist and he's good at it. You know, it sells very well on the camera. And again, here we go back into what is faithful versus what is fresh and interesting take. I personally think there's a lot of complicated discussion because he is the only Asian character and he is the only one who's doing flips and swords and shit. Like, yes, there's other characters who, we saw Lady Vic here use swords. We know that, the bad boys can do martial arts, so it's not that way, but it's just like, whenever they want to do cool ninja shit, they use Ryan Potter. Like, even last season when they were doing training montages, it was like, look how good he is with the weapon. So, I don't know. It's complicated because, again, there's the racist undertones of Asian people can be martial artists, but at the same time, it's a skill he has and it sells really well on camera, and and then it goes into the concept of, do you stay completely faithful to the comics where Beast Boy should not have that skill set? He should just be turning into fucking animals instead. And then the budgetary concerns. You'd think HBO Max, we've seen a little bit more higher budget with some of the effects, but then they'd also just don't want to let him do shit. But aside from that, I think this episode is just continuing to prove the point of they don't know what to do with him. He was, again, just kind of there doing, like, he was just kind of in scenes because they needed somebody to bounce back from Dick. Just like a couple episodes ago, they needed him to be with Starfire because she needed to have somebody to have his back. It wasn't because he in particular had anything important to say. It was just, he was who we had on hand, so let's use him. Which really sucks because this show is becoming more and more evident that it's about Dick Grayson, sometimes about Corey. Everyone else is collateral damage. Last couple seasons, Rachel was a prominent figure, but they haven't they mentioned her once in this season, I think. So I keep waiting. Like, even Donna's had a little bit of a ghost premonition scene. Rachel, we haven't seen her at all, so I'm very curious to see if she comes back for the season and when that happens. I want better for Beast Boy. I want better for Ryan Potter, and I don't have, with the plots they're going with, I don't see a way for him to get that due diligence that he deserves, and it's just, yeah. I really love the barber scenes this episode. I'm not, like, I don't know. I'm kind of, again, I think I mentioned this before. I'm on the fence. I prefer Dick and Corey together, but if Dick and Babs are a thing, I'm okay with it. This is like for other media, so, Young Justice, Dick and Babs are a thing because Corey doesn't exist in that show. Maybe one day. In the comics runs, the comics are actually really complicated right now. So there's the Nightwing ongoing right now where he is like no, I don't think he's together with Babs, but they've had a history. And then Teen Titans Academy, I think it's him and Corey are kind of like on the fence too. So they're I don't think they're picking either one. I might be misremembering. Maybe he is with Babs right now, but they're kind of on the fence. They're like, we're not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. So. But yeah, different media have different relationships. I know the animated movies, the New 52 verse, those ones focus on Dick and Corey. I'm not even sure if Barbara's in any of those, to be honest. She probably is, but yeah. So like usually it focuses on either one or the other. Me personally, I like Corey better. So my big scare here was like, it's okay that they're in a flashback together, as long as they're not trying to set up that he is... I don't want a love triangle. Long story short, I don't want a love triangle here. They've already set up that he likes Corey, and they keep playing with that. They know, like, even Blackfire this episode was like, I see, he's the man thing, not Gar. I'm like, yes, exactly. But then they put such a focus, even especially at the end scene there where he's in her apartment. It's like, boy, you better do not even look at that bed, okay? It's in the past. I'm okay with it in the past. She's already said before that we were used to be a thing. Hank's mentioned that. It's in the past, okay? You're a new person now. Move forward with your life, okay? I just, again, it's not that I'm shipping one or the other. I just don't want the complicated love triangle because that's tired. It's such a dumb storyline. We've, in the present timeline, since season 1, I'm calling the present timeline, we have had a relationship blooming on the fence, will they, won't they, between Dick and Corey. If they start doing something with Barbara again after they've already broken up, that's just creating unnecessary love triangle, and again, it feels like they're backing down from sticking to their guns. It's one thing to be like, he's a womanizer. I don't know. I really don't want him to be with Barbara in this show. That's that point. It's in the past. It's over. They both moved on. They've already got a complicated enough working relationship as freaking Nightwing and as the Commissioner. We don't need them to be also dating and all that baggage going with it. So it's cool to see Barbara as a character have that martial skill. But I also do appreciate when they had the wheelchair fight scene, because that was fucking badass, and that was straight up like comics. Like, she got the tonfa. They weren't they weren't tonfa here, but I believe in the comics she like has actual tonfa with her. But it was just so cool, like, to see she's competent still. She could still she can wreck some shit still. Just because she's wheelchair bound doesn't mean she's vulnerable. And I love that so much. Yeah, the second part where, again, just, I think it's a really, I don't know. I'm tearing up about it. I'm very curious to see how differently able people feel about that scene. Because I personally thought it was, like, really empowering. And I know that's like, oh, that's another fucking problem in the comments. So, where am I going with this? I might cut this shit out. Anyways, where? Yes, I think that's it. Scarecrow, whatever. I'm over it now. Tim. So, here's the stupid. So, I was looking at some. I guess the actor was like, if you're a Tim fan, wait for episode 6. Sir, people died. I'm very curious. Again, I'm very curious to see how they play. Like, what do they do with him? What do they do with him as a character? Because again, this show is getting fucking crowded, especially with Blackfire now. I know she was promoted to regular this season, and if this episode is an indication of what they mean by regular, that's a fucking lot of people still we have to deal with, especially as a new character as Starfire. Everyone else, our main titans now of Garfield, Connor, Dick, and Corey. That's a pretty small group. That's tight. We got the Hawk and Dove out of the way. Rachel and Donna are gone, so we're like really tight now. We're bringing back, now that we're introducing Blackfire as a temporary addition to the group, we have to get to know her. That's a lot of weight there. We've already got Barbara here, who's not sucking up a lot of screen time, but she's a pretty big player this season, as well as Scarecrow and Jason. It's a pretty big cast, so I'm just really hesitant and scared for what they're going to do with Tim, if this episode is any indication. I'm going to look up Lady Vic after this, because I never heard of her. Does not ring any bells, but apparently she's part of the Fearsome Five. Based on the way they played her this episode, she got a fucking episode named after her. I'm not, again, how important is she going to be this season if she gets a named episode? We get name drop episodes for, like, I believe Jericho got one, Aqualad got one. Pretty much any of our main cast members, Aqualad and Jericho are terrible, examples. They were not main cast members. Jericho more so. But, I believe Donna Troy got an episode. Hawk and Dove have gotten like 3 episodes named after them. Dick Grayson, Nightwing, I want to say Rachel got one. I don't think Garfield ever got an episode. He might have gotten one. Or it might have been the Doom Patrol. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure Starfire got one. So yeah, like, Superboy got one for sure. Jason got one for sure. You know, basically, if they get a named episode, they're integral to the plot, at least for that. Well, yeah, I was gonna say at least for that episode, which yes, Aqualad was for that episode important to that plot. So Lady Vic was important to this episode. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent again. How important is she? What does this mean? Is she gonna come back later? Is she important for the rest of the season? I want Hive and the Fearsome Five. I'm ready. Throw the rest of the season out. We'll deal with Scarecrow and everyone later. Fucking Barbara wants us to leave. Let's leave. Okay. She can handle Scarecrow and Gotham. We got other Titans things to do. Anyways, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. What did you guys think of this episode? Yeah, I'll see you in the next. I like this episode. I didn't really give a rating this time. I had a lot of fun this episode. I don't know if I liked it, but I had a lot of fun. There were some good moments, really good moments actually. Just yeah, it was vibrant. You know, even the parts I didn't like, they were entertaining, if for the wrong reason. Entertaining. Whereas other episodes were just slogs. So I can't blame it for that. Anyways, talk in the comments below. See you next week.